Alright, green's for go. Let's do this. Welcome to Riding with Tom. Riding with Tom, my new motorcycle. For all of you playing at home, this is a 2013 Ninja ZX6R. This is the first Ninja ZX6R delivered in Australia. I was number 8 or something in line to get my bike. Somehow mine came first on the boat. So, oh no, I got it dirty. So yeah, this is number 1, and it's ABS, which could make it number 1 in the world. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So what I'm going to talk about today is obviously my new bike. The good things, the bad things, and the differences between what's going on here. People are jogging around and stuff, and the differences between it and my old bike. My old bike being 2011 Kawasaki Ninja 250. So this, I came to Albert Park because you know, these corners are alright, even though you know you can't go very fast or anything. I didn't think there was going to be traffic at 7:30 p.m. But anyway, we'll just cruise around. We'll talk about the good things about this bike. Now, this bike is a super sport bike, so it's a race bike with indicators, pretty much. This compared to a standard 600. So, for example, a Honda CBR 600RR, a Yamaha R6, GSXR 600 from Suzuki. This is a little bit different. Very small thing that makes a world of difference. Now, I've ridden every single 600, and then I rode this. I rode this the first time I saw it and bought it. I bought this bike sight unseen. I took a gamble. I was very close to buying a Triumph Street Triple because that bike was fan-freaking-tastic. But I decided to go this because the one thing that the Street Triple didn't do for me is scare me. And that's what 600s or leader bikes do. They scare the shit out of me. Which I like, which is good. I think that's what you need to keep interested in a motorcycle. Pretty there. So I got this bike, and back to what I was saying, the small difference between this and a standard 600 is those 36 cc's. They make a massive difference. Pretty much every other 600 had power from, you know, 8,000, 10,000. That's when any power came in. Before that, it was like shit all power. Like, not very impressive. This bike, 4,000 RPM, power comes on. So right now I'm in second gear doing 40 k's an hour. I'm at 4,000 RPM. I give it throttle and we are moving straight away. Straight away we're moving and stuff, which is awesome. That is the biggest difference, which means that on the street and stuff, I don't need to go down a gear. I can just pump into this corner. Watch out for this guy. Straight on the throttle. And we're up. Can short shift a gear because it's got power to move. It's nothing like a leader bike where it's boogie time from freaking 500 RPM, but it's so much better to have those 36 cc's just giving you that little bit of mid-range power just to make it more usable, so you don't need to go down gears and stuff to keep the nice little power band. City looks pretty cool over there with the dark clouds over it. Let's just pump into this corner. And alright, what else? What else makes this bike fantastic? Traction control. Where did that come from? I didn't think a traction control would be very good on a 600. I didn't even know if it needed it. Till I took it out in the wet and trying to muck around in my underground car park, which has polished concrete. Then I found out, yeah, traction control is alright. I got to split into a little video of me in my garage you know, showing you the traction control cut in, because little bars come up on the screen there to show that the traction control is actually doing stuff, which is really cool. Let's go to the traction control. This is the traction control cutting in. You see a little bar come up down there. That means traction control is doing its thing. It's pretty cool. I like traction control. But didn't think much of it. Like, I didn't think it was going to be very useful or anything, but like it's nice to tell, you know, when your back wheel's slipping. You just look at that little bar and know that it's actually helping me, keeping me safe. Anyway, so yeah, traction control, awesome. I loved it. ABS, I've never really had the ABS kick in, only once. I've only had the bike for about a week, so I've had the ABS kick in once. I was banging it down Spencer Street and a taxi just cut in front of me. We're going down a hill, so I gave it more back brake than front brake, because whenever I'm going down a hill, I always give it a bit more back brake, just because I know what happens when the back brake locks up. I don't know what happens when the front brake locks up. The back brake did, like, the back wheel would have locked up, but I had ABS, so the basically the rear pedal just, it shudders like in your car ABS. It's not like Honda's ABS. Honda's ABS, you don't feel it at all. It just works itself out. It's by wire and shit. This, it actually shudders. Which I thought would be bad, but it's actually alright. It lets you know when, you know, you're losing back brake or when you're gaining back brake, so you know when it's actually doing stuff, and you know, I've got to give it a bit more front brake. Whereas a Honda, I don't know what's going on. It's just, it's working it out for me. So yeah, ABS is good, traction control is good. What else about this bike's good? The dash, it's got cool little features. Right now I'm on liters per 100 Ks, so it's showing me my fuel economy. It also has an eco light, which is kind of hilarious being on a super sport bike, but you know, lets me know when I'm riding my bike economy-ness. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, the dash is really nice. It shows you your traction control level, your power mode level. This bike got power modes as well. I don't really go into power modes because they're useless. I'm never going to be outside of full power. I'm just going to go back round, do it again. That lap's alright. I can't be bothered putting up with traffic right now. So yeah, the dash is really cool. The gear shift, the gear position indicator actually works. I've ridden other bikes that have gear indicators and they never work. They're always off and shit. Like you'll be in neutral and it'll say first, and they never seem to sync up right. This one actually works. So yeah, that's what's good about this bike. Obviously the suspension and stuff, I don't really know so much about super sports bike to be able to give accurate representation what's good suspension and bad suspension. Like, it feels good. I don't know, I've never taken this bike to its limits yet to find out, you know, when the suspension could be bad. We'll get on to bad points about the bike. Now, I probably only have one bad point about this bike. All the other bad points would be for any super sport. It's the super sport category. Probably the main one is, the one that's taken me the longest to get used to, is the body position. Being so much more leant over on my wrists. Like, I've broken my wrists from skateboarding and shit twice, so my wrists aren't always the strongest, no matter how much exercise I give them. You know what I'm talking about? So it's taken me a little bit to get used to, just being hard on my wrists. Because on the Ninja, you know, you're a bit more upright, so you just, you know, it's a lot more comfortable. Especially because I've taken people on the back of my bike, and then it doubles the weight that's on your wrists. And then you hit the skidders, and then they push into your back and shit. So that's taken me a while to get used to. The super sport position. Another thing is bumps. Bumps on a super sport motorbike. Now, I've only ridden a few super sport bikes for test rides and shit, so I've never had, you know, hundreds of kilometers of use. And yeah, starting to get used to bumps, especially mid-corner bumps, are scary on a super sport. And the actual one bad thing about this bike, which is annoying me and I'm going to fix, is it doesn't have a steering dampener. Pretty much every other Supersport I can think of has had a sneaky little steering dampener somewhere on it. This does not have any steering dampening, and it has quite a steep rake, which means that the steering is ultra fast, and if you come around a corner and you go over a bump, the front wheel gets out of track with the back wheel, and then you get what's called a tank slapper, where the handlebars just go and that happened to me at about, you know, over 100 k's an hour on the freeway, and having a freaking steering going like that and shit at 100 k's an hour is quite scary. And it's happened a number of times, especially when giving it lots of power and the front wheel comes up, and then when it comes down, it's out of line. So, you know, I know that steering damage probably isn't 100% necessary, but it's just that little bit of a security that I want, just to stop things like tank slappers, because they're freaking scary. So it has the mounts to put one on. I've just got to buy one from Olin's or something. It was an option, I didn't choose it, so I really should have. That's probably the only bad thing about the bike. The other thing is, again, a Supersport thing, it's thirsty. A lot more thirsty than my Ninja. My Ninja had the same tank in it, same size tank, I'm pretty sure, and I got 350 k's out of my Ninja. Actually going to go left here. So 350 k's, which is pretty good. Getting 350 k's out of a motorcycle, you know, it's a good amount of time before you hit the petrol station and shit. This bike is getting about 250 k's before it's dead empty. The light's coming on at about 200, even with, you know, even babying it a bit. It's coming on dead on 200. So yeah, I've lost about 100 kilometers of range, which is annoying. Being that I ride my bike, it's my only source of transport. You know, I live in the city, so I can pretty much walk anywhere, but I kind of do a right hand turn here. It's Orcs. So yeah, it does mean going to the petrol station more often. It's still cheap as frick. Like, it's still a motorcycle. It still only cost me 20 bucks to put, you know, 98 octane petrol in it, and fill it up and then get 250 k's out of it. It's just a bit annoying that I got to go to the petrol station more often, because I'm freaking lazy all the time and I never want to do it. This is a bit boring, this road with traffic. Sorry for the boringness. I should have gone on the freeway or something where I could have zoomed up to 100. But anyway, other bad things about the bike, there's not really that much. It's pretty freaking crisp. I didn't think it was going to have a helmet holder, which would have annoyed me for, you know, taking people on the back and shit, but it does, so that's a good thing. Other than that, it's a really freaking hard bike to fault right now. Like, I am liking it a lot. I took a gamble on this bike when I test rode all those bikes, all those other bikes I test rode and made videos about, and I ended up buying, you know, my next bike sight unseen, which is kind of comical, but I'm freaking very happy that I chose it. Another thing about the bike that I really like is it comes with battle axe tires. The good thing about my traction control is it lets me know when I've got back wheel slip, so it lets me know how good my actual tires really are. So in the dry, you have to give it a lot of shit out of a corner or something, or in first, to get the traction control to kick in. If I kind of show it, I'm in traction control 1, traction control 2, in traction control 3 now, drop back to first, lower my speed a little bit, and I'll give it a bit of shit. As you can see, traction control 3 kicks in a lot. It doesn't let you do shit, basically. It keeps the front wheel on the ground, it keeps it all nice and freaking centered and stuff. So as you can see, traction control 3 cuts in very early. For my video, my bike review video, I actually had the traction control completely off, obviously, to do the burnout. Otherwise it would have just been like blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the tires, I put it in traction control level 3 and I took off in the wet, and I thought it was just going to be like traction control just gone crazy and not letting me do anything, but it let me ride the bike nice and quickly, which means that the tires are quite good. So I'm quite happy with the stock tires that are on it. Obviously the Street Triple R came with Pirelli Diablo Rosses, which are meant to be like wicked tires and shit. These are just Bridgestones, but yeah, they're quite freaking good. I'm trying to think what else is good about this bike. It's freaking fast. It revs quite high. Its red line is 16,000 RPM. I don't think I've even been there. It feels odd to rev a bike out that much. Like, you just think, nah, I'm gonna have to change up. Nah, I'm gonna have to change up. You look down, you're like, nope, still got plenty. Which is odd to just be revving anything out, you know, to the 16,000 RPM. Like, that's freaking cool as. So yeah, I'm yet to rev it all the way out, you know, see the limiter and shit. It's got a shift light on it. I'll get the shift light in. I actually adjusted the shift light. I think the shift lights are cool. That's because I'm a kid of the Fast and the Furious ages, so I like all those silly things. So I dropped my shift light to 10,000, so I could actually, because I think stock it's like 14,000. You know, I'm never going to rev out my bike to 14,000, and you know, in normal day-to-day action. So right now it's on 10, and it will cut in pretty easily. All right. Back to the old shift light-a-rama. Let's get out of this person's way so I don't piss him off too much. There you go, bit of shift light. Best thing to do when you're braking in a motorcycle is hold the clutch in and rev it to 10,000 RPM. No, not a good idea. Anyway, final thoughts about the 636. Obviously, I'm going to be talking way more about the bike. This is just a beginnering kind of review slash thoughts. Yeah, I'm going to have this bike for a while, probably a good year or two before I move up to the dream bike. So that's what I'm thinking about my bike so far. I'm still, you know, learning the ways of the super sport genre. Still finding out, you know, what makes this bike tick and stuff. You know, what does she like? What's her favorite color? All that kind of crap. So yeah, this has been riding with Tom on the new bike. Peace out.